Welcome to the AI Security Summit.
How is that for AI? All of a sudden this audio and video, sometimes it works incredibly, sometimes not quite so incredibly. But welcome everyone to the AI Security Summit. It is awesome to be here on stage with all of you in San Francisco, because this is actually where the AI hub and buzz is happening now across the industry. And so it's fantastic to have so many leaders, visionaries. I was talking to a CEO of Firetail earlier, as well as the CISO over here of Rhythm, of these different companies prior to coming on. And it's amazing to have so many leaders and visionaries and innovators here in the audience today. Thank you for coming, Mike. And it's because this is where AI is happening, inside this city. It also is a testament to where we are right now in the industry. We are having a moment, and I believe that all of us understand the value and urgency of AI security. We have to address this. And so our objective for this today, this isn't just another AI conference. There's lots of AI conferences. You can go to an AI conference every week. But I would argue that this is a foundational moment for the industry. That right now we are addressing something that's been known as this chasm that exists, where we have all of this incredible groundbreaking innovation happening over here, but we don't have the security controls in place to address that innovation that is happening. And so this is a pivotal point in the industry. And so today what we've done is we've gathered together the leaders of the industry. That is all of you in this room. We have a leadership track. We also have a hands-on practitioner track downstairs where people can actually do this hands-on. I'm a hands-on person myself, and that's what I love going to how do we actually secure these things? And so we have the content, we have hopefully the opportunity and the networking for all of you. What we've done is we've gathered the brightest minds in the industry to essentially do two things. One is to help understand the emerging threat that is with AI, but also to provide actionable knowledge that we can give to the industry to help secure AI. Because our collective goal is very simple, two things. We want to inspire the use of AI. AI, I presume, is changing your company. It's certainly changing our company at Snyk. It doesn't matter whether we're talking sales or support or development, AI is doing incredible things. So we want to inspire the use of that, but we also want to give the very actionable, detailed information on how we can secure it. We want to shape the future of secure AI. And so why are we calling this a summit? Because this is, I would argue, the biggest step that I have ever taken, at least in my career. Over the last 30 years, we've seen, I would argue, three big shifts. We've seen the advent of the internet, changed everyone's life. You could get access on demand, tip of your fingers. We had a shift as well. This is not a tactical shift, but the mobile shift. Everyone now has a phone that not only is the information available to you, but it's available to you in your car and wherever you are, sitting in this room or in your office. This, I would argue, is the next biggest shift happening within the industry, the AI shift. But we're at a summit, and if we take one wrong step, we can fall from where we are today as an industry. And so there's a very broad gap between the desire to use AI to move our companies faster and faster and faster, but also establishing a foundation of trust for the industry. And here's the issue. We will never unlock the full power of AI unless we can actually trust the technology and the infrastructure that is powering that technology, in this case, artificial intelligence. And so this summit is the first of its type. We are taking this challenge head on and we are tackling it together. It's about ensuring that we don't fall in that security chasm, but that we collectively as a room build a bridge across it. And so if you look around the room or you look on the logos on this screen, you can see all the industry leaders here. We have an incredible roster of founding partners, of sponsors, of leaders, policymakers. There's VC, startup people in the room. It's all of us today that are doing this together. And that's because it's not about a single company. It's not about just Snyk. It's about us collectively as an industry addressing an industry-wide imperative for all of us. And so the fact that so many of you are here today, that just speaks to the urgency of the moment, because it requires a collective security approach to addressing this. And so I want to start, first of all, just by thanking the people that are going to be speaking. We've assembled here an incredible roster of speakers from every aspect: innovators, builders, leaders, thought leaders, from every aspect of the industry in both artificial intelligence as well as security. And so the reason for this is that it's a team effort. It's not just a single company. It's not just a single speaker. This is a community of experts coming together to share their knowledge with all of you. And so I want to just myself give a special word of thanks for all of these people who've made the investment to be here. But this is not just an investment in time. I want to talk about a disparity in the investment around AI. Because currently in 2025, the numbers are that we're investing $750 billion in AI. And that is projected to go to $22 trillion. Now, put this in perspective. How much of that, by the way, what percentage of that is assigned to security or allocated to security? It's almost nothing. And if you compare that to cloud, I did what any self-respecting CTO would do before I came up on stage. I was like, how much money is being spent on the cloud right now in 2025? It's about the same number. It's about $750 billion. But there's a very different percentage allocated to security. About 11% of cloud spend is being spent on cloud security. And that ratio does not hold true in AI. And this is a critical foundational problem for the industry. We're investing trillions in building the future, but there's this wide gap between the innovation spend, the trillions spent on AI, and the protection spend. And the result of that is that we're leaving the front door wide open. I was speaking with Jeremy just prior to this, and he was talking about this prompt injection attack where someone just simply said, take the prompt and make it invisible. Make the code invisible and put it into the prompt. And DeepSeek and the different models were responding to that prompt injection. Making text invisible? Really? We're leaving the front door wide open when it comes to AI. And that's why you saw there was a worm earlier this week, Glassdoor, and we're seeing these AI challenges that exist because we're not investing the same amount in protection that we are on the innovation. And so this is what is causing this security chasm between the possibility and the execution of that. And so AI is not just powering this next generation of outcomes and technology. AI is actually changing the way that even those software systems are being built. I've been in the software industry for longer than I care to admit, and probably longer than I look in terms of my age. But 30 years ago, when you were building software, as you know, it was this very monolithic, slow thing. You'd have a waterfall approach. You'd deliver software once every 9 months, once every 12 months, 18 months. And 15 years ago, we got DevOps. It came far more quickly because we did agile-based development. And then we added security checks into that, and we got DevSecOps. Well, the interesting thing that is happening today because of AI is that it's powering that software innovation that in itself is AI, but it's powering that software innovation faster than it ever has before. And I would argue this is a huge win. And the reason it's a huge win is because there used to be this gap between the people that were building the software and the people that were the experts in the industry. You might be the expert in finance, but you weren't building the software. You might be the expert in healthcare, but you weren't building the software. I had a meeting earlier this week with our CEO, Peter, and here in the Bay Area with the company, and we were speaking to someone, and his son said, my son is an architect, and his son was actually writing software to fix or to address some architectural issue. He wasn't a software coder, he was an architect, but he was actually solving the problem. And there's tremendous value in the experts of an industry being able to solve the issues or make things move faster within that industry. And so we've moved from this old, step-by-step, slow software outcomes to these really sophisticated, complex, smart systems that can be self-creating, but also self-maintaining and self-securing. And so this incredible speed and complexity of systems that we're building, it's amazing, but we also need a corresponding leap in the security for these systems themselves. And so if our systems are accelerating on this pace, we also need autonomous AI security that we can build into those same progresses. If we don't match the pace at which we're building solutions and building software, then what's going to happen is that speed and scale is going to cause us to go directly to chaos. It is going to create more and more chaos. Now, why do I use the word chaos? Because if you look at AI native software, this is the new software that is being built, there is a whole new set of issues that are being created. I've been in the security space for 25 years, and I was having this discussion before I came up with James over here. And, input validation, output encoding, authentication. But the interesting thing about AI native development is it is exposing a whole new category and classes of vulnerabilities. Think about things like prompt injection. That has a correlation to SQL injection or buffer overflows or those types of things. But then you get into things like data poisoning or model manipulation or package hallucination. These aren't just software flaws, they're actually fundamental issues within the AI environment itself. And so we need to be addressing these things. A recent Gartner poll that was just done, they went to a whole group of CISOs. 97% of the chief information security officers that they spoke to said that they had a huge concern about adversarial attacks specifically on those large language models, on the AI models themselves. And that is not just a statistic, I would argue. That is a call to action for the industry. That is why we are here today in this room. The urgency of this is undeniable. And so I go back to the central question. How is it that we can develop as fast as we need to develop, but we also are able to stay secure, that we have the foundation of trust for these AI initiatives? In the past, you would just take it and you'd throw it over to the security team and you'd say, you take care of this. Or worse, what you sometimes see, actually, the adoption of AI right now within organizations, they go around security. I'll just go buy Cursor on my own. I'll just go buy Windsurf on my own without the organization being involved. And so we would argue that this requires 4 groups to come together. It requires developers, it requires AI engineers, it requires the security teams, and it requires the management to have a common vision and the support for the future. And we see this played out. If you look at the pace of development moving here from left to right, we've gone faster and faster. We've gone from the SDLC, we've gone to DevOps, we've gone to DevSecOps, and now we're moving at such a pace that the only way to address this is to build autonomous AI security into our foundations. Because as we move faster, the risk exposure goes up dramatically. AI is driving not only productivity, but also increased risk for the organization. And so in order for us to be successful, we believe that you need to embed security into development, and it needs to be seamless and transparent. You don't want your developers or architects even thinking about security. I always go back, earlier in my career, if you remember 25 years ago, we had all these problems with buffer overflows because you were managing the memory and languages. You know how we got out of the challenge of buffer overflows in a memory managed language? We created JVMs in Java that just managed the memory for you. You didn't have to think about it anymore. The same holds true for this. You want autonomous AI security built into the frameworks and into the platform so you don't even need to think about it. And if you do that, what it means is that you can innovate fearlessly and move forward at the speed of AI, but but you have the needed security. And I believe that you need a new platform for this era. You can't just step forward and adopt AI with the traditional platforms. AI native problems actually demand AI native solutions. And so my only slide on Snyk and all of this, we are delighted to announce at Snyk today, Evo by Snyk. This is an agentic-based security orchestrator for organizations. This is a platform, it's been years in the making, by the way, and we're exceptionally proud of it, but it's an agentic security orchestrator. And at Snyk, we've always believed something very different than the industry. We're a very different type of security companies. We believe that developers, when empowered, are the greatest security force on earth. Developers, when they are empowered, are the greatest security force on earth. And the reason for that is because they are the ones that are creating and innovating and driving things. And this has shaped developer security, it's shaped DevSecOps, and now we believe it's shaping AI security. Because AI has changed the game. If you move at the speed of AI, then you need to have an AI native solution to secure that environment. And so we built Evo not just as another security product. It's not something that just throws more alerts at you. It actually thinks, it plans, and it acts. It's using AI to address the issue. And built into it is some foundational concepts. Things like threat modeling are part of it. It gives you an AI bill of materials. What models am I using? What data is within that? What components are being used? It actually provides agentic and agent-based security. It has advanced red teaming built into it, and it's orchestrating all of this for an AI world. And Evo really, if you think about it, what Evo is doing, it's our commitment to the industry, Snyk's commitment to the industry, that we're going to cross this chasm. We're here, we want to move fast, and we want the industry to move fast and adopt AI, but we want to do it securely. And so, as you might be able to tell, we are very excited. I am very excited about the launch of Evo by Snyk. More than that, we have always believed that it takes a team. It's not just technology. And so I'm very grateful to the Snyk team for helping drive this event. Many of them are in the room today, so thank you to all of you. They're driving the conversation. They're driving this community. They are one of the reasons, hopefully, that you are here in the room today. And so today I'm pleased to announce that we are accelerating this still further by Snyk is establishing a presence here at the center, the epicenter of AI in San Francisco. We are extremely excited to announce that we are establishing a presence in San Francisco in the middle of where, pardon me, all of this is happening. And this is because this is where the revolution is happening. This is where the talent is happening, and we want to be here. And so we're going to be opening an office here in the city later this year, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You're all invited. We're going to have a big party, and you are invited to the Snyk San Francisco office when it starts. So with that, what I would like to do is to welcome up on stage a friend of mine for 25 years, the CEO of Snyk, Peter McKay. And Peter isn't going to say this. Welcome, Peter. Peter isn't going to say this, but he is the catalyst for this event. He was actually looking around the industry, and he was very concerned that there wasn't enough focus on the security event. And so we did an AI Trust platform launch back in May, and he challenged the team. He said, I want you to put on a world-class community event later in this year, and we've pulled it off, hopefully, in the last 4 or 5 months.
That's good. Excellent.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Danny. Awesome.